y'all, welcome back. It's Taren with Legit Mom Life, and today I'm sharing a brand new easy haircut tutorial that I had never shared on my channel here before. I was thinking back on the time that I used to do hair in a salon, and I found that using a 3-guard like you see here, or even a 4-guard, are really the easiest to blend. So that's why I wanted to share this with you guys, because we're all currently on lockdown due to COVID-19, and my first haircut tutorial just hit 1 million views because so many of y'all are wanting to do haircuts from home. So I wanted to share something that's super easy, and also I will link down below all the products that I'm using in this video, so make sure you check that out. Make sure to give this video a thumbs up if you find it helpful, and please subscribe if you're new, and let's go ahead and get started. To get started, I'm just placing a cape on my client, and next you'll see me use a hair clipper guard, and I'm just placing that on his hair to see how much that guard will actually take off. So if you're unsure which guard to use, you can simply place that guard into the hair, and then whatever you see sticking up will be cut off. So I'm starting at the nape of the neck, or the very bottom, and working my way up, and as you work your way up to the occipital bone, you want to curve out and away from the head, almost in a C shape, and that motion right there is going to really help you blend that haircut more easily. And you'll just continue that same motion all throughout the hair and around the head. And don't feel afraid to push the ear back out of your way. It will not hurt your client. That way you can really work around the ear area. And then when you get to the side, you'll see me go up to around the temple area. Next, I'm going to push the lever down on my clipper, and that will basically give you an extra half guard. So when you push this lever down, it's going to give you a 3.5 guard because I have a 3 guard on here. That makes it even easier to blend when we get to that part. So again, you want to envision a line from about the temple area all the way around the head, and you don't want to take your clippers further up in that area there, so you can leave some room to blend in that area. And you want to keep going up with that C motion, curving up and away from the head as you go in with this 3.5 guard. So now I've pulled the lever back down to be an even 3 guard, and I'm just going to do the exact same thing that I just did on the opposite side of the head. And just remember that half guard lever will work with whatever number guard you actually have on your clippers. Next, you'll want to spray down the hair with water to make sure it's all evenly saturated. If it's not evenly saturated, it will result in an uneven haircut. So work that water in really well. Next, I'm going to go in with my barber's comb and comb it all through to make sure it is all nicely evenly saturated. And then next, I'll comb the hair all straight to the front. And this is where you're going to gauge how much hair you would actually like to take off for your haircut. You'll just want to use light tension, so don't pull too hard on the hair here. Nice and light with the hands, and gauge how much hair you would like to cut off, and then you'll start a line and just work that line all the way across the front. Next, you're going to start by taking a section down the middle of the head, and I would say no larger than about a 1-inch section, so fairly thin, and then you're going to pull that hair straight up. Then in the front, you'll see where you just cut that first section in the front on the bang area. you'll see where that guide is. So the whole point here is to take that guide and work it all the way to the back of the head. You see how it's shorter in the front here? Then you're going to just line that up and make it all one nice even line all the way to the back of the head. Don't forget to spray down the hair if it does become a little bit dry. You want to make sure that it's always evenly saturated, so keep that in mind. Next, I'm just taking a section that I just cut and I'm matching it up with what I had blended down below. So just make that line curve all the way down the head until you get to that section that you blended before.
So many things that I still don't know. It's time for me to move on. I want you right here, but you're all across the globe. Never call me back, even though you're on your phone. Wishful thinking is the best.
Next, you'll want to split that section that you just cut in half. So the whole idea here is that you're literally splitting it in half, and you're going to pick up half of what you just cut and then a little bit more of a new section that you haven't cut. So when you pull that hair straight up, you'll see that guide and that line that you just cut through the new section. So you'll just continue that line all the way straight across the head.
You're just gonna waste it now. Not sure if I'll make it out. I do not wanna give you more of my life. I'm all in with my mind. Will you ever call me back? How am I supposed to go if we never say goodbye? Reading through our convo, trying to find where it went wrong. Baby, I'll be fine if you text me one last time. Wishful thinking gets the worst of me. Hoping that it's still you and me. Yeah, I thought we'd always shine. Just some time off, we'd be fine. Guess that I was wrong this time. When I think about it now, I know that I don't. I do not wanna give you more of my life. I do not wanna give you more of my life.
Next, we're going to start in blending the side section even more. So my husband has a hard part on his hair on the top. Most haircuts are not like this. So on the opposite side of his head, that's how you'll actually blend it unless you have a hard part like his haircut as well. I leave his longer along the part line just so it'll lay down nicer. So here, you're just going to grab small sections on this side right here, and you'll see where you came in with the clippers on that 3.5 or whatever guard you had, and you're just going to work that right up with your scissors to blend that in. So you'll want to continue taking small sections on the hair and just line up the section where you cut with the clippers and then match it up with the scissors, and you see how it's shorter at the bottom again? You're going to cut that all in a straight line right up. A good rule of thumb is to not cut past your second knuckle to avoid cutting your hand. So take little sections and don't cut past that second knuckle like you see me do right here, and just continue working upward. Then we'll just continue this all the way around the head. So if you're not comfortable blending a haircut with clippers, this is honestly a great way to have a decently blended haircut with scissors. So you can literally just continue this motion around the head if you're afraid of using clippers, and it'll look all right. It's not going to be the best, but it'll be all right. So I would say use like a 3 guard, 4 guard, or even higher, and that's definitely easy to blend with the scissors like I'm doing right here.
I'm done with the defense. Drove back and climbed over your fence. Had to show you that I was a mess. So you were shrugging your shoulders and closed off. That's what I told you. Soon enough, everything everything started to change. 'Cause there's no going back, no going back. There's no going back to your old life. Not living in the past, we're over that. I'm feeling it tonight, riding on the dizzying heights. Riding on the dizzying heights. Felt like nothing could stop us. Sunsets, remember the colors. They were wrong, it was way more than a dream. We climbed up, yeah, over the hillside. So right, we stood there all wide-eyed. You and I floated on air in my mind. 'Cause there's no going back, no going back. There's no going back to your old life. Not living in the past, we're over that. I'm feeling it tonight, riding on the dizzying heights.
So as you can see here, this is a decently blended haircut with just using the shears or scissors to blend in those sides there if you're not quite ready to try out blending with the clippers. Next, we're going to work in small horizontal sections all across the top of the head, and that's just cross-checking your work and making sure that everything lines up nice and evenly. So just keep taking those small horizontal sections all across the top of the head and make sure everything lines up in a nice straight line. And again, this is where my husband has that strong part that I talked about before. If your client does not have that and it's just evenly blended on the sides, you'll want to go ahead and cut all that long hair and make sure that it evenly lines up to the short blended section that you cut before. So you would literally just take the hair up on the sides here and cut down at the bottom where it's short and cut all that long section that he has there. So just make sure that's an even line on the side of the head, and you'll see me do this on the other side of his head, and that's exactly how you would blend that haircut. So right here you can see that bottom section where we blended in with the scissors and clippers. Now I'm just going in and making one straight, nice, even line down the side of the head. And you're going to do that starting at the front and just work your way all the way towards the back. Then once you work your way to the crown of the head, you're going to take that section and make sure it blends straight down and back to the section that you cut with the scissors and clippers before as well.
Be the one who wakes you up before you miss your ride. 'Cause I wanna be close to you, and I wanna show you something new.
Okay, so now I'm going in with my flat top comb and clippers to really get that blend tight against the head and really nice and blended. If you are not comfortable, again, using clippers to blend, don't worry. I think you'll be just fine with using scissors to blend if that's all that you can do. If you want to give it a shot, using this flat top comb is honestly so much easier than any other comb that I've used. It's wide, and so I feel like it gives a nicer, even blend, especially for beginners. So I'm just going to work in small sections around this side area all the way around the head until it's all nice and blended. Basically what you're doing here is you're lining up the section at the very bottom where you went in with the clippers, and you're going to see how it's a little bit longer above that. So you're just making that in one even line with the clippers all the way around the head.
Try to keep the pace, but someday we will find that the world has changed, but we stay true to each other. I will always be there for you whenever you need my help. I'm taking my time to be your rock. I don't ever wanna be apart. You gotta know, every day I got your back, yeah, you can count on me for that. So put your hand in mine.
Next, I'm going in with my edgers, and this is what's going to give you that nice clean line along the edges of a men's haircut. I absolutely love this T-finisher here. It's got a nice wide base, which is making it even easier to get the nice clean straight line when you do the edging and detailing. Here I'm just going in and thinning out the sideburn area, so I'm using my barber's comb and then just gently blending down that sideburn to make it a little bit shorter. This step is totally optional, but you can take your trimmers and then make a clean line right around the temple area to make it look a little bit more clean cut. Next, we're going to use the trimmers around the ear area to get that nice clean line around that. So don't feel afraid again to pull back on the ear and then just gently, without touching the skin, but just gently curve around the ear to get that nice clean line.
You gotta know every day I got your back. Yeah, you can count on me. Yeah. So put your hand in mine. I will be there every day. When you're sick of the climb, I will make sure it's okay.
Here I'm just pulling back on the ear to get it out of the way so I can continue that nice clean line all the way around the ear, and then we'll work down this side of the back of the head. The key here is you want to stay right along the hairline and do not cut into the hairline, because that's going to give you those white wall look above the ear. Next, I'm going to start at the nape or the bottom of the neck right here, and you're going to want to start a straight line again right at the hairline, not cutting too far into the hairline. So just work that line straight across, and then we're going to line that up to the section that we just trimmed. Okay, here I want you to envision a straight line from the bottom section all the way to the top, like you can see with my comb right here, and you're just going to make a straight line all the way down. This is a totally optional part right here, but what I'm doing is tapering down that line. I personally don't like when the line is really thick at the bottom. I like a more tapered or faded look. So I'm just taking my barber comb and my trimmers and just tapering that line down just a little bit right at the bottom to make it appear more smooth. Again, here, just envision that nice straight line right here and do the exact same thing that you just did on the other side. I absolutely love seeing all of your haircuts that you're doing from my tutorials, so make sure if you post on social media to tag Legit Mom Life to be featured. Lastly, you can take off the hair cutting cape to trim any neck hair that's further down the neck. And then next you're gonna see this is the final look of my haircut immediately after. And next is the final look of the shampoo and styled haircut. Alright, well that completes this tutorial. I really hope that you found this one helpful. If you did, be sure to give it a thumbs up. Please subscribe down below if you're new. I do post other videos as well, so be sure to check those out, and I will see you all in my next one. Thanks for watching. Bye.